Good day everyone, welcome to today's video, well, bonus video as I always say. And today we have the first flight of the I-180S. Yes, I've grinded my ass off for this thing over 3 days. Do apologize about that, 1 second. Grind my ass off for nearly 3 days just to get one of these things for you lot. And well, hold on 1 second. Richard D was just messaging me on Facebook there. The I-180S in real life did not have a good reputation, let's just say that. The plane itself was known for killing its test pilots in stalls and spins, and it was a very unstable plane to fly. Now, from what I've been able to get out of her in a test flight, the rudder is one of the most responsive rudders I've ever seen. But let's just say this plane is a lot of fun to fly. It's basically a hot rod I-16. If you've flown the I-16s, you've basically flown this. So if you're like an I-16 and you're at 3.0, you'd expect at least one cannon, such as in a Yak, like the Yak 9. But no, you do not get any cannons in this. You only get two 12.7mm Bears and UB machine guns and two 7.62 Shakas machine guns, which are all mounted in the nose. Now, a lot of people have been complaining about the guns going and pushing the plane upwards slightly with its nose every time you pull the trigger. That's because of the recoil. This plane is very light, so you've got to bear that in mind, and obviously it's basically a modified iShack is what it is. But the plane itself doesn't seem to be too bad. Ordnance-wise, you do not get any rockets, which I am sad about. But you do get 4 50kg bombs or 2 100kg bombs, so you can use it in tank combat if you want, but I really don't recommend it. So this plane did see, well, it didn't see any action as such, but obviously it was tested quite a bit. It killed quite a few of its test pilots, as I've already mentioned. And well, once the factory that decided to start, like, obviously making these for testing, they soon decided to go back to Lag 3 fighters, and to be honest, I don't blame them. The Lag 3 in real life was actually better to fly than this thing. And in fact, the regular iShack was actually better to fly, but of course, this is Gaijin, and this is Gaijin land. So unfortunately, we do not have that privilege. But obviously, the only other first flight that you guys will see soon enough will be the IAR-81C. But yeah, let's get into this, shall we? I've been eagerly awaiting to fly this bird. I saw at least 4 or 5 in my IL-2 earlier as I was grinding a daily task. And well, they clubbed pretty damn hard. They just slaughtered the allies. Fair enough, I got 2 P400 kills in my IL-2 because both of them went head on with it. I don't know why. But this should be a fun flight, like I say. And now we play the waiting game, but the thing is about the I-180S is that in real life it could have been a good plane. That's the thing. In fact, I was just about to mention the engine. It is a M88, same as the IL-4. It's just this one's a little bit more powerful. I forgot to mention that. I was going to go over the plane's X-ray and things like that. I forgot to do that. I'll do that at the end. Okay. Minimum fuel, 18 minutes, 20 minutes for fuel. I think that should be fine. Okay, so obviously this is my first flight, so I have flown this thing in test flight, and this thing flies amazingly. Okay, we are in a battle rate 3.3 game. And we don't appear to have any other... Oh, we've got one other I-180S on our team. Okay, that's fine. Takes off pretty nicely. Like I say though, folks, it flies very similar to an iShack. Yeah, Richard Each just messaged me on Facebook, being himself. He's on about his electricity outage, things like that, power cuts. But yeah, this thing, when I tested it, is actually pretty good in terms of climb, dive. In fact, its dive is insane. Its turn rate is pretty good. The roll rate's pretty good. But in fact, I'll demonstrate how sensitive the rudder is. And you can see, it is just so unstable when it comes to it. It seems someone's using my trick with a P3. But yeah, we've only got one other I-180S, flown by Blackster. Let's see if he actually ground it. I can tell if he has. He's bought that, you can tell. Excuse me. Throat went a little dry then. Do apologize about that. Yeah, he's bought that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why you would. I mean, it took me about 3 days on and off grinding this plane. Even then, it wasn't the world's worst grind I've done. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, so far the climb rate's not too bad. I mean, it's keeping up with Yak 9, so that's a good start. Will it be able to deal with the space fires on the enemy team? Let's find out. But quite a few YouTubers have been saying about the plane's tendency to lift its nose up slightly when it's shooting. I'll have to compensate for that, obviously. But yeah, if I was to compare this to a plane, I would compare it to the 24 Ijak, or the Ishak, or whatever you call it. The I-16 Type 24, obviously that thing has 430 cals, whereas you have 230 and 250 cals. And he gets rockets, you don't. If this thing could carry rockets, I'd be grinding it 24/7 to get that mark of distinction, but hey ho. Okay, we've got a A36 on the deck. Ground pounding a couple of half tracks, that's no big deal to me. It appears my Attila, I think he's trying to spell Attila, which is a, he was a leader of, I can't remember what it was, but I'll remember at some point. Sir Mustafa, I think he's trying to reference Mufasa from The Lion King. I mean, he's cultured, so that's something. Yeah, we've got Spitfires, ladies and gentlemen. A bomber has just rushed in and bombed that left-hand base. It's a B-34, that's fine. Got loads of Spitfires and a Corsair. One of the Spitfires is already dead, thanks to the IL-2. Good lad. But we're keeping up in the climb with these Spitfires, so it's not a bad climber. That I can say. And to be honest, in my testing, I was very happy with the climb rate. Okay, we've got F2A. That'll probably be a big buff. Hurricane. B-34 I'm not bothered about. I can deal with him later. I've also heard that this plane's quite durable. Sir Mustafa has just killed the Yak-7. The Hurricane's just killed the P-3. And for some strange reason, the B-34 is turning back. I have no idea why. I'm not going to go head on with that thing, because that thing is an absolute beast in a head on. I should know, I go head on with it all the time. As in mine. I don't go head on with it as in, I would openly go head on with a B-34, but hey ho. Okay, what are you going to do then, pal? I do not want to go head on with you. Oh yeah, I can see what people mean about the guns. There we go, first kill. Oh, yeah, one. Careful, mate. There we go. First kill in the I-180S. Can't say I wanted it to be a bomber, I wanted it to be a fighter, personally, but you win some, you lose some, I guess. Okay, we've got a couple of Spitfires up here. Now at high altitude, this thing appears to have pretty good speed. I mean, we're doing about 320 right now, even in a banking turn. There's another Spitfire. I don't really want to take on two at once, so I'll pull back. Let's see if we can't get one of them to stall climb for us. I think El Manita might be the easier target in this situation. I've got some teammates coming in and help me anyway. Yeah, the controllability of this thing is insane. I mean, I'm keeping with a Spitfire, for God's sake. Right, we've got a left flap. Let's go back up. But look at this. This thing is just... This thing's bloody turning. It's not going to turn with a Spitfire, but it's going to give it a run for its money, that's for certain. Kill assist, I'll take it. This thing's got a very good Lion give out to people. I forgot to mention the boost that it does have. It has very high boost. I think it's the highest. It's the highest. What's the word? The boost to the. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it's carbureted. It is an M88 engine. You can see here, this thing has got no control stiffening at all. It just feels perfect to fly. So one of the best planes I've ever flown. Like, Jesus, she flies well. Okay, we've got a P400. There's an AA piece down there. We'll go for that with the 7.62s. Your 50 cals will run out before the 30 cals do, so if you're going to use your guns for ground targets, use your 30 cals for them. That's our first ground target, so like I say though, I am very impressed. I hate now that when you go to answer a radio command, it now briefly fires your guns, which can drain a bit of ammo, especially from a Shakass. This guy's just taking head-ons with everybody. Jesus Christ. No, I do not want to... No, get those pew-pews away, you bellend. Go on, scoot off. I do not want your pew-pews. Let's see how it can dance from a hurricane. Well, when 5 enemy players, or 5 of your team dive on it, it's kind of a lost hope for the hurricane, unfortunately. Okay, team's doing reasonably well. I mean, there's 6 of us, there's 3 of them remaining. P39Ks, that's ironic actually. P39K dueling with a P400. Okay, we can go back and get some bombs, I guess. Which I think we might do, because my team is starting to pull back a bit. P39 should be able to handle him. Yeah, I'm very impressed with this plane so far. Like I say, I did feel the guns, as I mentioned earlier. You can see here, obviously I'm just going to fire it briefly. You can see the guns are forcing the nose of the plane upwards slightly. You've got to take that into account when you're leading targets and things like that. What's this P400 doing? Is it really trying to outmaneuver a P39K? On the deck, this thing's not too bad. I mean, a Yak's faster than it, no questions, but overall, I'm liking this thing so far. And if you don't think I haven't flown it at all, I will prove. I will prove. I will gladly prove. You can see here, and I'll just give you a second to read it all if you want to pause at these sections. But you can see, I mean, I've flown the TB3. Obviously the PO2 I don't actually have, so don't actually question me about that. Oh, there's an F4U with an ice shark. That's a bit debatable. But yes, I have not flown this plane at all. I thought I'd save this plane for you guys, because I know some of you won't be able to grind this plane. It's Phillips was telling me he was having a bit of trouble, like, understanding the event. But yeah, like I say, I thought I'd save it for you lot, because then it'd be more fair. You can see how it performs, see if it's maybe worth the money on the marketplace. If it's cheap on the marketplace, yes, get it. And whilst I'm at it, I'll go over the rewards. There you go, 480% and 248%. Obviously, Lions and RP respectively. But yeah, I do like this thing so far. And the P39K just killed the P400, and the I-16 just gutted the F4U. Vandal666, I swear I've seen your name before. Yes, I have. Not a big concern. I think he was in the, what's it called? The PV2D Harpoon earlier. Yeah, we'll go back, pick up some bombs, obviously the two 100 kilogram bombs because I'm more accurate with them. And we'll go and bomb a pillbox. Just to get some points, really. Just to get the marker distinction started. Then afterwards, it is nearly 5 o'clock in the afternoon as I record this. I'm feeling a little hungry. Then again, I'm a bloke, I'm supposed to eat quite a bit. Fair enough. It's just me in the house tonight, so that's a good thing. I know what I'm going to order in. Uber Eats. My mother's already said I can have one, so I'm already happy. Right, let's see how she does on landing, because I've never actually landed this plane, folks. Arresting its speed nicely. Gear down and flaps. I mean, at least it's not hand cranked like on the I-16. Landing speed's quite fine. Keep it at 40% and it won't stall. And the PV-2D Harpoon just rocketed someone. Damn. I don't know what altitude he is at, but score a rocket kill from whatever distance he's got. That's insane. Oh, the brakes. Yeah, just ignore that. The brakes are very... So where's that PV-2D Harpoon? I don't know, but that was a cracking rocket shot. He just killed that Yak 1. Do you have... What happened to the I-180S? The P400 killed him. Never mind. But yeah, brakes do seem to be quite... I'm not going to leave the match, people, before you get your knickers in a twist. Don't you worry. Ground targets... yeah, we'll put trace in, because we're going to go for some pillboxes. So the one thing that appealed to me is that obviously it could carry bombs. Damn, he's over 4 miles away, like, bloody hell. You must have been at some low altitude in order to score that kill. Then the AA guns were open up on him earlier, so... But like I say, people, I'm very impressed with this plane. Do I recommend buying it? If it's cheap, yeah. I'd say if it's cheap. Otherwise, maybe get the P39K or something like that, like what Red Box 1 is flying. Whilst this thing's good, you've just got to get used to those guns. Don't mind me, I'm just heading back to base. I do not blame you. Let's see if he understands this Pokemon reference. There we go. A wild P39 may appear. I love making Pokemon references and things like that. I'm such a child. But yeah, maybe we'll kill a pillbox or 2 with the guns, and then obviously 1 with the bombs. I think I can deal with that. Cockiness is not a good thing, lad. That is all I'll say. Yeah, the bombs are connected by wires. I thought so. Yeah, you can either carry 2 100 kilogram bombs or the 450s. I'll show you the 450s once we're back to the hangar. But yeah, very impressed with the plane so far, as I've already mentioned. It's nice to fly, it's reasonably manoeuvrable. I mean, it was matching a Spitfire in most maneuvers. However, in vertical maneuvers, it didn't feel the best. There we go, another Pokemon reference. A Master Ball won't save you. I was going to say a Whiz Cash, but we'll leave it at that. In fact, I will mention a Whiz Cash. If you haven't watched the early Pokemon episodes, you will not understand what the hell I'm saying. Why is the P39K firing from that kind of range against a plane heavily armed with 50 cals? I mean, the nose armament on that thing's dangerous enough. Let's see what happens. P39K is really making a meal of that. The harpoon appears to be damaged, but I'm not entirely certain. Yes, he's on fire. But PV2D harpoons tend to survive their fires, so... Let's throttle it up. Oh, yeah, carbureted. What is that P39 doing? This Yak 1, I think, is joining... Yeah, he is joining me in this regard. Got 24 seconds until we get a nice payment for the blind hunt order. There goes the PV2D harpoon. We might not reach the target in time, but... Both bombs drop at the same time, people. I did forget to mention that. I'm giving it all she's got, but I don't think we're gonna get there in time. No, we're not. Nah, but we'll drop the bombs anyway, don't matter. Come on, lag. Look at that, controllability is just so good. But yeah, that's the first flight of the I-180S. Well impressed with it. I'll briefly go over the plane, like armor-wise and things like that before we go. Armor, you only get a single 8mm plate like the iShacks. The engine is an M88R, produces about 1100 horsepower and WEP. Pretty handy. All your fuel is in a central fuel tank, similar to an iShack. All your armament is in a nose, similar to the early, or some of the iShacks, because some of them have guns in the wings, but even so. And your bombs, the 450 kilogram bombs, I would personally take the 100s personally, but that's just me. But yeah, these are optional. They drop independently, so 2 will go at the same time, and then another 2, and then that's it, you're out of bombs. But yes, good start to the plane. We got a pretty decent payout of 44,000 Silver Lions. Obviously, we only had to pay out for the ammo costs, and obviously the repair to the propeller because of the brakes. But yeah, well impressed with the plane, and this thing will be making more of an appearance on the channel at some point. Anyway, I'll let you guys off. I hope you enjoyed today's first flight of the I-180S. I certainly enjoyed the plane. And, well, I've got to grind it a bit more, I think. I've got to start flying this thing a bit more, because that was fantastic. I mean, it wasn't an ace. I wasn't expecting it to be, but at 3.0, even though it has its disadvantages, obviously no cannon, it can still compete pretty well. Anyway, I'll let you guys off. If you want to buy this plane, it's on the marketplace. I personally wouldn't pay for it at this price though. Once it goes down a bit, get it. Anyway, I'll let you all off. Catch you on the next one.